Keeping your home clean doesn't have to be a huge challenge or require superhuman strength. In fact, with the right habits and efficient organizational systems, maintaining a tidy living space can become a natural part of your daily life. I'm not super energetic or have any special secret, but one thing I'm certain of is this. If you build a cleaning system that suits your lifestyle, your home will always stay clean without feeling like a burden. So where can you start to have a home that is always neat and tidy without spending all day cleaning? Below are the habits and strategies I've implemented in my own life, simple yet effective, that help me maintain a comfortable living space without feeling exhausted. The first habit is the 10-minute cleanup. I often found myself caught up in piles of assignments and work, and then my home would become messy and I didn't know where to start. Until I realized that you don't always need hours to clean an entire house. Just 10 minutes a day is all you need to keep your home clean. Here's how I do it. Every day I spend 10 minutes on a specific area, whether it's the living room, kitchen, or bedroom. I simply pick up the clutter, do a light cleaning, or even just straighten up the bed. At first I felt lazy, but then I realized that these few minutes actually make a huge difference. By the weekend, I no longer face a mountain of clutter. You'd be surprised how just spending a few minutes each day keeps everything so much tidier. The second habit is always cleaning up right after using something. One of the simplest yet most effective habits I've adopted is cleaning up immediately after using items. I remember when I first moved into my apartment, I used to leave everything messy, like shoes scattered on the floor or dishes left aside after meals. But after a while, I realized that if I cleaned up immediately, things would never get out of control. For example, after every meal, I used to come home at night and see a kitchen full of dirty dishes and greasy surfaces. It wasn't a pleasant sight. In the past, I would leave cleaning until the end of the day, but this made me spend a lot of time just cleaning up the kitchen. After realizing this, I decided to change and start wiping down surfaces right after every meal. Not only washing the dishes, but I also wipe down the kitchen counter's dining table and even the used kitchen tools. By cleaning up immediately after every meal, I saved time and no longer felt stressed seeing a messy kitchen. I also realized that it didn't take much time, just a few minutes, and everything was spotless. The third habit is breaking down cleaning tasks. There was a time when I felt exhausted from spending the entire weekend cleaning the house. It felt like I was dedicating the whole day just to sweeping, wiping, and sorting through clutter. Eventually, I decided to change things up and break the cleaning tasks into smaller, more manageable ones. Instead of seeing cleaning the house as one big goal, I started dividing my home into smaller areas and focused on one area each day. For example, today I might clean the kitchen, tomorrow the living room, and another day I'll focus on the bedroom. This way, I didn't feel overwhelmed and weekends were no longer about deep cleaning the entire house. Instead, I only needed to dedicate a few minutes to each area and everything stayed tidy without feeling exhausting. I once let my house get so messy that the cleaning session turned into one of the worst experiences of my life. I actually made a video during the cleaning process to share the lessons I learned from that experience. If you're also living in a messy home that hasn't been cleaned deeply in a while, check out that video. Let's continue with more helpful habits right after this. The fourth habit is quick cleanups in the morning and evening. One of the habits that helps me keep my home clean without spending too much time is doing quick cleanups every morning and evening. This is a simple habit, but yields noticeable results. The process is very easy every morning. When I wake up, I spend about 5 to 10 minutes cleaning up the leftovers from the night before, such as making the bed, washing dishes, or putting things back in their place. In the evening, before I go to bed, I dedicate 10 minutes to do a quick round through the house, tidying everything up. This habit started when I realized I often left my home messy in the evening, only to wake up to a pile of clutter the next morning. Each morning, I used to feel like I had no motivation to clean because everything felt like a burden I had to take care of. I decided to change this habit by dedicating 10 minutes in the early morning to quickly clean areas I frequently use, like the bed and my work desk. After doing this for a few days, I found myself enjoying it. When everything was organized, I felt much easier to start my day without the pressure of house chores hanging over me. In the evening before going to bed, I spend a few minutes doing a quick cleanup of the areas I used during the day. This could mean wiping down the kitchen after dinner, tidying the living room, or simply picking up clothes. This not only helps me keep the house clean, but also creates a relaxing space to go to bed. In fact, I noticed something very interesting when I consistently apply this quick cleanup habit. Every day, my home is always clean and comfortable. The fifth habit is using a capsule kitchen. The kitchen is often the messiest place in the house if there's no plan in place. I remember when I first started cooking, every time I wanted to make a meal, I had to search for ingredients and tools, and then the kitchen would end up in chaos with used items everywhere. But everything changed when I decided to adopt the capsule kitchen method. Every week, I always prepare basic ingredients such as onions, garlic, carrots, potatoes, and a few types of meat. I no longer have to overthink what to make for dinner. I simply combine the ingredients I have on hand and cook a meal quickly without causing much mess in the kitchen. This habit not only helps me save time, but also keeps the kitchen clean and tidy after every meal. By having the essentials always ready, I can focus on cooking without the stress of a cluttered space. The sixth habit is cleaning the kitchen right after cooking. One of the secrets to keeping the kitchen clean is to clean up immediately after each meal. Instead of leaving dirty dishes, pots, and pans piled up all day, I started the habit of wiping down the kitchen right after cooking, cleaning up and washing all the used utensils. This habit ensures that I always have a clean space to prepare the next meal without worrying about the mess. It's much easier to cook when I know that after each meal the kitchen will be spotless and ready for the next task. Plus, it saves me from the overwhelming feeling of tackling a big pile of dishes at the end of the day. The seventh habit is having a mini cleaning day every week. Each week, I dedicate a day to clean the areas I usually overlook throughout the week, like windows, closets, or decorative items. It's a day set aside for deep cleaning, ensuring that everything in the house stays fresh and vibrant. However, the key is not to expect a perfect cleaning session. Instead of setting a goal to clean every nook and cranny, I simply make sure that everything gets checked and refreshed. This helps maintain a clean home without feeling like it's a huge, exhausting task. It's a manageable way to ensure that areas often forgotten during regular cleaning don't get neglected for too long. The eighth habit is creating a shopping list. One of the habits I found incredibly useful in maintaining a clean and organized space is making a list of things I need to buy before heading to the grocery store. When I first moved into my current home, I didn't have this habit, and as a result, my cupboards were filled with unnecessary items, everything from unused spices to random household gadgets I never really needed. Now, before each shopping trip, I always make a list of the essentials I actually need and stick to purchasing only those items. This helps me avoid impulse buying and ensures I only keep things that are truly useful. As a result, my kitchen is no longer cluttered with extra stuff, and I feel like I'm saving money too. It's a simple habit that has made a huge difference in how I manage my home and avoid unnecessary clutter. The ninth habit is regularly taking care of indoor plants. I've always loved plants, and one of the habits that helps my home stay fresh and vibrant is tending to my plants every week. One morning, I noticed that the plants in my living room were starting to wilt because I hadn't been paying attention to them for a while. I decided to dedicate a morning to trim them, change the soil, and water them. Afterward, I saw the plants thriving and my home felt much fresher. Since then, I've made it a habit to take care of my plants every week. Even if it's just a few minutes to water or trim them, these plants not only beautify my space, but also bring a sense of calm every time I relax at home. Having plants around creates a peaceful atmosphere, and it's a simple yet fulfilling task that contributes to the overall feeling of comfort in my home. The 10th habit is decluttering every month. One of the most important lessons I've learned in life is that holding on to too many unused items can cause your home to become overwhelmed with unnecessary clutter. Instead of keeping everything, I decided to make it a habit to declutter once a month. Each month, I go through my closet, living room, and every nook and cranny in my home to get rid of items I no longer need. I remember one time I threw out a pile of old clothes and broken items from my closet. After cleaning out all that unnecessary stuff, I felt like my home was much more spacious and organized. This habit helps me maintain a clean and comfortable living space, free from being overtaken by things I no longer use. By regularly decluttering, I keep my home light and welcoming without the burden of excess belongings. The 11th habit is cleaning while you're free. One interesting habit I've adopted is cleaning during my spare time. Instead of setting aside dedicated time for cleaning, I take advantage of moments when I'm not busy to do a little housework. For example, while watching TV or listening to music, I'll quickly wipe down surfaces, organize things, or tidy up the living room. For me, this is a great way to keep my home clean without feeling pressured. It's especially helpful on busy days when I don't have time to dedicate to a full cleaning session. By squeezing in a little cleaning here and there, I manage to keep my space tidy and it never feels like a chore I need to schedule separately. It's an easy way to maintain a clean environment without disrupting my day. The final habit is changing bed linen regularly. For me, changing the bed linen on a regular basis is an essential habit. Every week I change my bed sheets, even if I don't feel like the bed is dirty. I remember when I first started this habit, I noticed how fresh and comfortable my bed always felt, especially when the linens were freshly washed. After a long day of work, lying down on a clean, fragrant bed is such a wonderful feeling. Most importantly, changing the bed linen regularly helps prevent bacteria and dust buildup, keeping my sleep environment fresh and healthy. It's a small task that has a big impact on my overall well-being, and it gives me peace of mind, knowing that my bed is always clean and inviting. Maintaining a clean home doesn't have to be a difficult task if you apply the right systems and habits. By breaking down cleaning tasks into manageable chunks, establishing daily cleaning routines, and setting up automatic systems, you'll be able to keep your home neat and tidy without worrying or feeling overwhelmed. Start with small steps and gradually build habits that help you maintain a clean and comfortable living space, making your life easier each day. Thank you for listening until the end. If you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.